this is take 2 of this particular video. I had a major makeup malfunction. If you follow me on Facebook, you'll have seen a screen capture I did. I filmed this whole video. It looked great from the monitor we were using, and then I got to editing it and I had this like major flashback powder upper lip sweat situation going on. My son described it as, "Mummy, you look like you've got a milk moustache." No, a toothpaste moustache, that's what he called it, and it did look like that. Insert photo here, either up there or up there. And that started to show at about 1:40 of footage. It just came in a little bit and then it got worse and worse and worse. And I couldn't use any of the footage. So hopefully that doesn't happen this time at all. But yeah, so this is the second attempt at that video. And the video is dance trends that we need to leave in 2017. So this is a video that I've been watching a lot of them on YouTube from beauty vloggers and just lifestyle vloggers, and they're fun. They're a bit of fun, and they're things that, like, you know, they go looking back at the year that was, things that we loved but maybe a bit over now. And I thought this is a great video to do for the dance industry from the perspective of an adjudicator, because we adjudicators, we see a lot of dancing throughout the year. If you think about an adjudicator who might just be there for one session of one comp, that's at least 3 hours, they're seeing hundreds of dancers in that 3 hours. We see the same thing a lot. So we see what the trends are. And the problem with a trend, whether it's in the dance industry or any trend, problem with a trend, it starts out really exciting and fun and something that you're part of, and then it just gets boring. So if you want to be innovative, new, different, if you want to stand out at your dance comps and in the dance industry, then I would highly recommend you avoid trends if you can. So some of these trends that I'll be talking about are personal preference trends. Take it with a grain of salt, okay? And some of them are technique and safety related trends that I highly recommend you take on board wholeheartedly for your own safety and for the development of yourselves as dancers. But the first one is definitely a grain of salt sort of trend. This is just my advice on a trend that I noticed from 2017 that I think we can do without now, and that's white costumes. White lyricals and neoclassicals, classicals and contemporary. White. They're beautiful, I get it. They're really, white is really pretty, but it was so trending last year. So if you want to make yourself stand out, then add a different colour to your costume. Or if you've already got a white costume, or if you're getting a new costume, perhaps don't do white. Everyone was doing white, and it got a bit boring. The next one on my list of trends that can stay back in 2017, I suppose this is also personal preference one, but yeah, Ed Sheeran. There was a lot of the redheaded Sheeran man, and I could probably do without being bombarded by you in 2018. Having said that though, if you come out and I'm adjudicating you and you're dancing to Ed Sheeran, please don't freak out and go, "Oh, she's going to hate me." The only way I'm going to hate you is if you come out and start being racist or sexist. Okay, I'm not going to hate you, and I'm definitely not going to mark you down if you dance to Ed Sheeran or wear a white costume. Okay, it's just a bit of fun, just a bit of advice. Okay, I saw a lot of Ed Sheeran. I actually did see a lot of Ed Sheeran in white costumes in the lyrical sections. Be a bit different. Okay, so trend number 3 that can die out with 2017 is a makeup related one. Now this is makeup related to the stage. Again, personal preference. It's just a trend I noticed that wasn't necessarily great. Overusing highlight. The problem with overusing highlight on stage, like putting too much on or having a too intense highlight on stage, is when you're just using natural light just in your everyday, the highlight will sort of pick up every now and again. But when you're on stage, you've got a lot of lights, a lot of intense, strong lights on you. So if you've got your Anastasia glow kit and you went to town Nikki tutorial style, and then you put yourself on stage, whoa! It's like the eagle has landed. Okay, it's intense, and unless you are doing something out of The Fifth Element, which is a brilliant film, go watch it. But you know, unless you are doing sci-fi for your routine, that amount of highlight does not work on stage. Okay, and it is actually visually really distracting. So like we're sitting there watching it, you're being all beautiful and soft and gentle in your lyrical or your neo or your classical, and it's like, okay. Ease up. Like, next trend that we can really definitely please do, just maybe not do without this one in 2018, but just let's rethink it, is pump turns at the end of your jazz routine or the end of a lyrical. So what I mean by pump turns, for those of you who aren't familiar with that expression, with that terminology, pump turns is anything where you're pumping the relevate repeatedly. Okay, so they're multiple pirouettes on the spot. Fouettes are the second turns, any variations within that little thing there. I'm not against doing them. Do them, and if you do them well, great, good on you. But there was a major trend from 2017 that I saw before 2017, but 2017 it was almost as if in some cases it was like people thought that it was a requirement of their solo that they had to do a series of pump turns in the last 20 seconds. 20 minutes, how long was it? Yeah, so it's similar to in Centre Stage. Yeah, if you haven't seen that movie, Fifth Element, add that to your list, go see Centre Stage. But at the end of Centre Stage, in that, you know, dance thing that she does, and they've got that amazing Candide by Jamiroquai, and she's doing the pump turns at the end, and dance, 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 double, fouette. Great fun, we all loved it. We all cheered in the cinema when I saw it, because I was old enough to see it in the cinema as well. But it's not exciting anymore because I see it a lot. There's a lot of issues with people doing fouettes and other second and other pump turns when they're not actually technically strong enough to do them yet. Don't add to the issue of doing it at the end of a 3-minute solo. You're tired, your body's fatigued, so you're not always going to nail them. And it's boring. It's not as exciting as you think it is. So do something different at the end of your routine. Yeah, because I'm kind of getting sick of it. And I know a lot about the adjudicators are as well. Okay. The next trend that we can say bye-bye to, farewell, dancing to Ed Sheeran. I'm really getting sick of talking about this one because this one's a trend that should not be a trend. And that's forcing your hip alignment, bad hip alignment, and I'm specifically talking in extensions here. So anytime you get that leg up, whether it's devant, a la second, derriere, whether you're in arabesque, whatever, when that leg goes up, the hip doesn't. I'm not going to go into great detail in this video about that. But I did put in my 100 days post, I had 2 days where I was asking the dance community about bad hip alignment, especially in needles and scorpions, if you're a cheerleader, you know that terminology. So the arabesque, basically. And I was asking people, is there a new way of doing this and teaching this where you can open the hip and pop the hip open that is safe, that no one has told me about? And the general consensus was a bit of natural turnout, if that's what you've got, then yes. And it doesn't have to be completely forced squared, but that's my son yelling out to me. Don't force the hip alignment. It's not a good trend. Please leave that one behind. What's the next one? What was the next one on my list? Oh yeah, that's right. Ed Sheeran. really does. Yeah. Like years ago when everyone, not years ago, honestly, I feel like it should be years ago. It wasn't. Do you want to build a snowman? No, I don't want to build a snowman. I heard that song so many times, and obviously I heard Let It Go so many times, that I feel sorry for the kid that would come out and they were like the 5th one in the section to do that song, and you're just like, ugh. The whole collected works of Ed Sheeran is kind of doing the same thing. Another technical one. Okay, I say a lot as an adjudicator to neaten and strengthen your connecting steps. What this often is referring to is running into your jetés or acro skills, any kind of big power move. Please don't run like a footy player, okay? Running like this is your foot. As a dancer, you should be working through the whole foot. You should probably be running pointed feet. But don't run heel first, flop fitted. You're not running for the power like a gymnast, okay? That's not what we do as dancers. Dance is aesthetic. Yes, it's we use the body so that it is a sport. There is that element to it, absolutely. But what you look like matters. And if you're bashing across the stage to get this massive power jump, well then I don't care what you look like when you're at the top of that bam jet attack. I don't care. If you've run into that like a footy player running with the, you know, bouncing the ball, I don't know anything about football. Don't know about football. Anyway, just don't run like you're an athlete. Don't run like you're Usain Bolt doing the 100-meter sprint. Okay? Don't do it. Yes, Indy! Okay. Second last trend, that is Matilda. I understand that sometimes you have to be a little bit naughty. I get it. I get it, because I've heard that song about 1,000,001 times. I love the music of Matilda. I think it's genius. I loved the movie, and I loved the book before that. It's brilliant. Matilda as a character, I get why you'd want to be her. And you should, in your life, want to be like Matilda. She's amazing. But I don't want to hear that song anymore. I'm so over it. When I grow up as well, when I grow up and naughty in particular, I get it. I get it. But be more creative in your choices of songs. Be more creative. With these things where it's a trend, and particularly with song choices, if you're, my concern with them, in all honesty, my concern is if you want to do something to stand out, if you can make yourself memorable to the adjudicator for more than just having solid technique, then it can help you get over the line, okay? Because there are times where we're adjudicating, 20-something people in the one section, all the one age group, all the one style, meaning you're probably all around the same standard anyway, and it becomes really difficult to separate you out. Sometimes what separates you is that you've brought more artistry to the stage. You've done something that just completely captured us. If you're the 4th person that we've seen that day, sometimes in that section, to sing Naughty from Matilda, then you're doing yourself a disservice. It's really hard to make yourself stand out from the others that have all done that song as well. Okay, so the more unique your song is, the more unique you can make your performance, the more you stand out, the more memorable you are. Okay. Now the final trend is a very close one. I'm seeing this a lot in contemporary sections. Basically, it's where you are. Okay, you're exploiting an issue. You're exploiting a political issue, often an emotional issue, just to get the win. And I think this trend came from, so there's a lot of YouTube slam poetry. I love slam poetry, and I've used it as a soundtrack for a dance before. Definitely used it. But if you're just getting a really deep emotional slam poem that's about bullying, for example, there's a great one out there about bullying. Yes, I have used it in my choreography years ago. I think that was in like 2012 and 2013 that I was using that. If you just get that soundtrack, that audio, and then just do some lyrical type movements to it with a pained expression on the face, you're being disrespectful to people who have actually suffered through whatever the issue, whatever the poem is talking about. Okay? Yeah, I'm not saying don't use issues, because that's what's so amazing about dance and art in general, is that it can and should be political. It can be so incredible. You can change people's opinions. But you can also really offend someone if you've just got this music playing, this, you know, an issue playing with a bit of a pained expression, but you haven't done anything else with your movement, with your performance, to add to the conversation, to add to the dialogue about that issue. And teachers, choreographers, if you can't have a deep conversation with the dancers about whatever the issue in the song is, then it's not appropriate for them to be dancing to. Okay? A few things on this trend that I don't want to just say don't do it. This is a complicated one, because it's not that I don't want you to tackle the issues. It's that if you're going to do it, I want you to do it with respect and with artistry and intelligence. So some things that might help you to figure out whether or not your piece falls into this disrespectful category is, if you could take the music out and just put another one in that has the same, you know, 4/4 or 3/4, same beat, then if it was still just, it's a good dance. If the steps you're doing in the dance, basically, it's the similar steps on the whole to what you're doing in something else, in another routine, yeah, you're probably just using that, the track speaking, the track is doing the issue for you. Okay, you got to bring something with your dancing. Explore movement. Look at how a different movement vocabulary, gestural movement is really good for these kinds of issues. Incorporate some props. I mean, you don't have to be literal of, you know, hold up a sign, I'm being bullied, but incorporate some props. Yes, that's a really good way to figure out if you are just using the track and letting the track do the issue for you, and you're just, you know, doing some pump turns, running like a footballer into your jeté, pained face, bit of a finger twirl, and, you know, no, that's not good enough. Because the thing is, there will probably be somebody, at least one person in the audience every time you perform that routine, who has been through what's going on, what's being talked about in this track. And you owe it to that person to be respectful of their experience. It's their lived experience. And I've seen this a lot with, remember that there's that movie that was based on the Jodi Picoult book, My Sister's Keeper, that I just kept seeing so many dances to this. Some were great, but some were just lyrical, with a pained expression, with a voiceover about someone dying of cancer. My mum died of cancer, okay? And I don't want to see kids using that issue, doing fouettes, football run, jeté, pained expression, matty face. I don't want to see you do that and just have some girl talking from the movie, My Sister's Keeper, about cancer. Okay, because it's offensive. I've seen that sort of thing and I've been offended, and I've found it really, really hard as an adjudicator to then look past that and adjudicate the dancing. I've seen some really, really good issues dealt with on stage. Really, really good. That I've experienced the issue that they're dancing to and dancing about, and I felt empowered from watching it, or I felt like this is great because it's really exposing the rest of the audience to this issue. It's getting awareness of the issue. And it wasn't just because there was a great poem or a great song being played. It was because these dancers and the choreographer respectfully brought to light this issue, this particular issue, whatever it is. It's not just about you winning. It's not even a little bit about you winning. It's about the kid in the audience who wants to kill themselves because they're actually being bullied. Okay? The last trend from 2017 that I would like to never see again is people dancing to Ed Sheeran. Did that get a bit boring, the fact that I mentioned Ed Sheeran about 4 times? Did you get to the end of this and go, oh, could she just stop harping on about Ed Sheeran? Did it get a bit boring? Did it get a bit repetitive? Yeah? That's the problem with trends, guys. It gets repetitive. It gets boring. Repetition can be good in a way, but when it's repetition for an adjudicator, we sit there for 9-hour days. That's if that's a short day. Okay? We're sitting there for a long time, watching routine after routine after routine after routine. Okay? I know we're going to get double ups in costume colour, double ups in songs. I get it. We're going to get that. The more creative you can be, though, the more you will entertain not just the adjudicator but the audience. And isn't that what dance is all about? It's about entertaining people. It doesn't have to be entertaining in a happy way, but it's just about engaging with your audience through some sort of communication other than talking. If you're saying the same thing that everyone else is saying, but doing the same steps that everyone else is doing, wearing the same colour that everyone else is wearing, dancing to Ed Sheeran like everyone else is doing. I've got Ed Sheeran going through my head now and it's driving me crazy. It's gonna get boring, okay? You could come out and if everyone danced to the Beatles, they're my favourite band, and I'd be like, yay! And after about 3 hours of everyone dancing to the Beatles, I'd be like, okay, can we change it up a bit? Okay? So don't feel that you have to follow trends. Be influenced by trends, but why not be the trend setter? Why not be the one that says, you know what, I'm going to dance to, I don't know, I'm trying to think of another red-headed white boy crooner. I can't think of any. But do something different. Okay? Challenge yourselves artistically, and remember that dance is about connection. Okay? If you've got the opportunity to do a new routine for 2018, don't think about the trends from last year. Think about what you want to do as a dancer, what you want to do as an artist. I want you to start thinking of yourself as an artist, okay? And remember that dance is about connecting with an audience and making them think or feel something that they never thought they were going to feel, especially if they were coming to a dance comp, okay? That was a really insightful point, wasn't it? And I wish I could take credit for it, but it wasn't me. Kiara said that. Kiara said like, ooh, well done, well done. Occasionally she says interesting things. Very limited. And on that note, unicorns and sunshine, people. Okay, so that's all from me for today. Have a fabulous 2018. I would love to hear some in the comments. Post some of your trends from the dance world that you would like to have left in 2017. Be respectful though. Okay. Yeah, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.